Hey there, this is Zach, and you're watching 90 Church. If you like what you hear or see, take a moment to subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. We're in the midst of this series called The Journey Home, which tells the biblical story of Nehemiah, who traveled to his ancestral home in Jerusalem to rebuild the ruined city walls. We're going to jump ahead a few chapters this week to chapter 7, where I noticed a really interesting line. This is 7 verses 70 through 72. A lot of verses in this chapter. Some of the family leaders gave gifts for the work. The governor gave to the treasurer 1,000 gold coins, 50 gold basins, and 530 robes for the priests. The other leaders gave to the treasury a total of 20,000 gold coins and some 2,750 pounds of silver for the work. The rest of the people gave 20,000 gold coins, about 2,500 pounds of silver, and 67 robes for the priests. As it turns out, this project needs more than just physical labor, it needs finances, about half of which is donated by superstar donors, those who've committed to the project and lead it, and then the other half is donated by everyone else. Now, we've talked about this idea before, but as Christians, we believe that we are simply stewards of our money because our money, it's not actually ours. It belongs to God. And God has, at this moment, given us these resources for the purposes of kingdom glory. And sustaining ourselves with food and shelter and the ability and education to work a job or to raise God-fearing children or to pursue creativity so that we might express God's wonder, all of these things bring glory to God and to His kingdom. So I'm not here to guilt you into spending less money. That's not what this is about. But as stewards of the king's money, we have to keep our eyes and ears open so we don't miss the call from the king to open up the coffers. All right, just as he has called some to tackle the physical tasks, be open to the possibility that he's called you to accomplish the monetary ones as well, even if you don't feel like you have what is necessary. Now, final note, it's not an either or, right? It's not those who finance and those who work. Those leaders who donated, they were also working on the wall. So don't assume that just because you're out on the field, God's not hoping to use some of your resources that He's given you. And of course, vice versa. Just because you're generously backing projects does not mean that God hasn't called you to work in the field. When God calls you on mission, be prepared to use any asset at your disposal, physical and monetary. And in fact, be prepared to use skills and assets that you don't have yet, because those things God will be giving to you for the project. As always, my prayer for you is that you recognize what mission God has called you to. May you hear His call.